Well, folks, all I have to say is wowee. After the release of part 1 of this series, I kind of expected the following responses and at the same time was appalled by the inability of people to review the evidence provided and state their opinion like an adult. Well, I liked your page, then I saw this, now I don't like your page. You labeled it Warren's Hoax Part 1. You're saying they're a hoax, plain and simple. Unfollowing your page now. The Warrens didn't make money from their investigations. I was happy to follow your page, but now, fuck you! And blah blah blah. Rude comments or not, we're going to move forward and discuss another batch of instances where the Warrens may not have been 100% honest in their reveals. Being popularized by the major motion picture The Conjuring 2, the Enfield poltergeist case took place between 1977 through 1979 in the suburban town Enfield, London. Titled as a poltergeist haunting, the main focus of the case is the potential possession of one of the Hodgson's daughters named Janet. To make a long story short, Janet would sporadically speak in a low grumbly voice. While under her trance, Janet would describe the life of a man who had died in their home. For whatever reason, this case blew up in the media, prompting a slew of journalists and paranormal enthusiasts alike to flock to the small town. Like most popular paranormal cases, the Warrens made their way across the ocean to investigate the paranormal claims. Although there were a slew of these claims, including recordings of Janet's voices and poltergeist activity, no solid proof of paranormal happenings took place on camera. The most famous piece of evidence are a set of photos capturing Janet being thrown from her bed by an unknown force. After intense review, the majority of people state that Janet is clearly jumping off of her bed on her own due to her body placement. Don't believe the specialists? There have even been reports of admissions from Janet herself, stating that her and her sister had faked some of the paranormal happenings. This is one of those cases that we can't say the events never took place, but with such a laundry list of discrepancies, we can't help but let out a Our next story begins with an unfortunate meeting with an old weird dude. A young boy named David Glatzel claims to have been visited by an old man with black eyes, looking, according to David, like Satan. After his experience, David had some serious episodes, including physical convulsions, speaking in tongues, and gaining 60 pounds. Rather than seek medical attention, which is a bummer of a move, the family reached out to the Warrens, fearing David had been possessed by an evil spirit. After going through 3 lesser exorcisms, Ed claimed to exorcise 43 demons from the boy. These claims were later denounced by other priests who were involved in the case, stating that no exorcisms actually took place. After being placed in counseling and a school for disturbed children, David began to show signs of improvement. I wish this was the end of the story, but the influence of the alleged demons continued to plague the family. Debbie Glatzel, David's sister's fiancée, Orange Cheyenne Johnson, claimed to be possessed by the demons that left David's body. Arn's behaviors became increasingly strange, reaching a crescendo with the murder of his landlord, Alan Bono, in front of Debbie with a pocket knife. Yikes. The Warrens, along with Gerald Brittle, wrote a book detailing the paranormal happenings titled The Devil in Connecticut. David and his older brother Carl attempted to sue Brittle and the Warrens, stating the book paints the family in a negative light and the couple took advantage of David's mental illness. Carl has even stated that Ed told the boys they would make millions off of their family's story and they could help to use the money to free Arn from prison. Whether this statement is true or not, I could not be more bummed out to hear the obvious exploitation of a family for monetary benefit. I'm not sure about you, but this whole alleged haunting, leading into a demonic possession, leading to a sweet book deal or major motion picture, is making me feel kinda sick. Before I bail on this topic, and put on my suit of armor to protect me from the verbal abuse generated by posting this, let's chat about one last example. Now, I'm not trying to rush through anything here, but let's just rewind back to 1980 in West Pittston, PA. At this point, we kind of know the deal with the whole new family moving in, starting to experience strange things, in this case, pig snorting, to their daughter being thrown down the stairs, along with their dog being thrown against walls, and the Warrens come into the picture, and we have a demonic situation cured by an exorcism. I can't help but relate this final Smurl haunting story to all the other stories that we've talked about in this series. A philosophy professor at the State University of Buffalo, New York, named Paul Kurtz, commented on the Smurl family haunting, stating, "They have no credentials in the scientific or parapsychology communities. There is no explanation for the Smurl house, but I wouldn't simply assume it's a haunting." Paul also pointed out the obvious similarities between the Smurl and Lutz family situations. When I started writing this story, I wanted to make it clear that I was looking to write a story highlighting the validity of the Warrens. Click after click, I realized that my first assumptions may not be the truth. I'm just going to leave it up to you guys to decide for yourselves. All I ask is that whether it is this story or anything else claimed in the paranormal field, to put on your thinking caps and truly analyze the facts being presented.